Oh, it looks like Tim Ballard is getting accused of misconduct against 7 women now, and he's the one who decided that instead of going after the senator's daughters and the gifted kids rings where they track you if you're gifted or talented or have zits on your head like I see. Look, just stare right here. Just stare right here. Just stare right here. I know you want to. I did not put on makeup. So, as Satan herself, and you're going to react like I am regardless of what I say here, regardless of what I say. So pretend I am for argument's sake. Now, if we were to activate, Pack 44 right now on everybody, would that make Tim Ballard less of a money-hungry person that did this just to run for Senate, right? Because as we know, remember what happened when you're talking about the senator's daughters and gifted kids. Oh, let's rewind a bit. Hi, I'm Mecca. Please subscribe to this. And here, I'll do this. You don't have to look at my head. Oh, that's better. You want to look at my mouth anyway. You want to look at my mouth anyway, right? Now, that's better. Now, so Tim Ballard, he made that Sound of Freedom movie where he had the guy come out and say, hey, my daughter got taken, oh Dios mío, blah, blah, blah. But he put her in exactly what these rings are, which are these gifted modeling agencies, talented kids, skaters. What happens? Because see, I was one of these gifted kids. And so if you're like a really super hot gifted kid that they can market and make a lot of money off of you, then you're going to be a super famous one. Then you're going to be like a Nicki Minaj even, or and don't wait to, you know how they treat some performers as, perform, throw all your money around, and they're up there laughing about how ridiculous that looks. Yeah. So we know how they treat some performers in this thing. So what happens is all these people who want favor down the road, they want to be senators, they want to be influential, they want to be your politicians, they want to be your executives, they want to be your CEOs, right? So they know, and they're having their kids around the same time as everybody else, and all these business people and all these wealthy politicians and police and law enforcement and district attorneys kind of know who's who and who's not in these small towns, right? When it's coming from small towns and big towns and every town, right? So your gifted kids are put little markers on, or your misbehaving kids, your smart kids, your talented kids, right? Your kids who have something like a skateboard thing. Because I knew kids back when I was a teenager. I had a skater friend who had some mysterious wealthy girl who was right dangled in front of him. And his mom's like, don't you touch her, don't you get her pregnant, she's underage, blah, 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 blah. And that's what they do. They put these underage girls with these 18-year-olds or 17-year-olds. And that's your, island, right? Is that they know, and then they bring them out of the woodwork, like with Danny Masterson or Russell Brand 30 years later, to say, look at the thing you might have done, because a lot of these guys are so high and they don't even remember, and these girls don't remember, and these girls like Eliza Blue, and here's you're gonna be like, oh, Mecca's a horrible witch, she's evil, she didn't attack Eliza Blue. Exactly. Her dad's a senator. You know why? Her dad's a senator. She's literally the human trafficking victim people are trying to protect. Literally the human trafficking victim people are trying to protect. And what did they do? They all decided that she was not worthy of protecting because she was a grown adult after a while. Now when she's finally trying to fix things, right? Now that she's a grown adult, even though when she was very, very young, she was put as a video vixen, as a potential groupie, because when they're not talented enough for that, then they're offered up as these sacrificial lambs. They're your little beauty pageant queens. They're your little trophy wives. They're your little, the dumpsters of the athletes and the people to produce more offspring, to repeat the cycle. What happens? We end up with single parents who are horrible to us in some way or another, right? We end up with having to fend for ourselves for the most part. We end up very bitter. We end up in these situations where we're constantly being triggered and tested, so we react and lash out. Right? And we see this pattern over and over again, and we are kept from the one thing that makes us, from our fulfillment, from our being reproductive and being happy with our soulmates out there, right? So we're kept from that repeatedly. We see the cycle repeatedly throughout time, throughout history, especially in our entertainment, especially with the musicians and the entertainers, right? So what happens is all the NPCs and all the blanks and all the people who can't even visualize an apple in their head yet, what happens to those people? What happens to those people? They all say, you're a witch, you're a witch, you're a witch. You didn't agree with the thing that we were manipulated into seeing. Because everybody, when they're at their breaking point, can be manipulated into saying and doing something that they regret later. We know that. We know that. Everybody will go with the flow at one point. Everybody will. So what's Tim Ballard being accused of, and why does that have to do with anything? Well, because instead of going after the real thing, your corrupt politicians, your corrupt business people, your executive class who just want to feed us a bunch of medication and poison in our food and poison in our entertainment. And they've been keeping us dumb and dumber and dumber and dumber and dumbing us down for the past, at least my lifetime. What happened in the 60s? Can you tell me that? Because I was there, and you know it because you saw me there and you saw my daddy there. Yes, you did. Now, and I saw yours there too. Now, what's going on, everybody? I go on, eh? What are we talking about? I don't know at this point, but I am fascinated to find out where this goes with this Tim Ballard thing, because as we all know, beware of false prophets, and I keep my holiest and my holies close to me. Now, can anybody find my true love of happiness and fulfillment? Do we want to save this planet? Do we want to save ourselves? Do we want to actually fix this? Or do we want to just go around being mad and saying, Mecca's a witch because she didn't join on the yay, Sound of Freedom bandwagon? Or am I so suppressed it won't even matter? Huh? Bye. Oh, subscribe to my channel or else.